Hello and welcome to an on-the-road edition of Trade Talk this week. Tom and I are at the Warrnambool Bowls Club, an absolutely fantastic venue. It's Warrnambool Carnival week, so that's why we're up here. But Tom, it's pretty good to have the greens behind us, isn't it?
How beautiful. It is sensational. Thanks to the Bowls Club for having us down here at Warrnambool. It's all things happening for the week. I can't wait. I'm a little bit anxious, nervous, excited. It's all going to happen.
It's got that feeling.
Hopefully we find a few winners. Plenty of AFL to talk about, Karl.
Plenty of AFL to talk about, and you know, if we have a little bit of time, we can talk about the menu here. The garlic bread is to die for, Tom, and
I've heard good things.
We know you love your garlic bread. This weekend's footy was good yet again. Collingwood, they do it again, Tom. I'm actually starting to get sick of it. Where do they get this never die attitude from?
I think they were a bit fortunate that Adelaide threw the game. I think Adelaide lost the game rather than them winning it. I know they were fantastic in the last quarter. They smashed clearances. I think it was 16-4 last quarter in clearances. Adelaide's ball use in the last quarter was very, very bad, and they're kicking for goal early in the game again. Probably cost them potentially all three games they've lost. So amazing. What a comeback. Collingwood traded a big price as well. So Adelaide traded $1.15, Karl. Collingwood $7.80 if you don't mind. We saw another huge comeback. My man Toby Green did it again. Kicked 4 goals, kicked the match winner. GWS hit $42, Karl.
That is unbelievable.
Sydney traded $1.01. So plenty happening in the AFL last week. A couple of massive wins.
I want to get your thoughts. We spoke about it last week. How do you think your boy Keys went on Dacos?
Very good. Very much a down game from Dacos. He still had a lot of possessions. I think he had 5. With Adelaide's poor kicking for goal, I think he had 5 possessions early in the first quarter, potentially from full back. Turned the ball over as well, but he's had that amazing play in the last quarter with 2 sockers off the ground and an amazing smother. So he won't poll any votes. Massive watch, but I'm really interested. They play Sydney this week. Ryan Clark might do a number on him. He's done numbers on a few from half back in the past as well. So Christian Salem, I believe last year he tagged Christian Salem out of the game. So interesting watch again, and we've already given away a hint of my watch, what I'm watching this week, but he's still on the watch list.
Well, we're going to get into the market watchdog for this week, and there's so much happening with that Dacos game, and also Geelong. They're absolutely firing at the moment. But what's caught your eye on the Betfair Exchange markets, Tom?
Yeah, not many huge moves. Carlton's a fascinating move. They're $18.50 into $14 for the premiership, and they went to WA and beat West Coast. I reckon the the Div 2s could beat West Coast the way they're going at the moment. They've shortened $4.50, so they're in a 14. So $18.50 to $14 on the back of that big win. I'm not buying into that at all. I don't think it means much going over there and beating West Coast by a big margin. Charlie Curnow on fire. Collingwood, very small movers. Melbourne, small movers. Geelong firm from $6.80 to $5.80. They were a big firmer. And Port Adelaide continuing, $21 into $19.50. Karl, Sydney and St Kilda, probably the Drifters are just, out the gate. Sydney, I don't know where they're at. I'm
keen to have a look at the top 4 market. Obviously, Geelong are in absolutely fantastic form. That's 4 wins on the trot now. Dangerfield is in the danger zone. He's going crazy at the moment.
He might be taking a few votes off your man. That's the only concern for your man, Cameron.
It's a bit of a double positive, to be honest, because we've backed Dangerfield at quite a big price and because of his form, and now he's sort of into that 40s mark. So, I'm still enjoying Dangerfield playing well. It's definitely not slowing down Jeremy Cameron. I think he's fortunate enough to be on the receiving end of a fair bit of Dangerfield service. I know that Dangerfield's now continued to rise in his goal assist category, still second in the AFL to Brian Myers, but that was a good watch last week. But let's take a look at the top 4 market. Collingwood are $1.39 at the top. That seems actually a little bit of value for me, Tom. What do you think?
I agree. I'm happy to take $1.39 Collingwood. You could back them. I think Melbourne, $1.43. I'm still not sure how well they're going. They had a big win, obviously, over North Melbourne, who were pretty listless on the weekend. But they were just going before that, but that win might do them the world of good. Geelong, $1.64 for top 4. Brisbane, $1.92. St Kilda, the Drifters, $2.26. Port Adelaide, $3.15. So they look the only teams that can make it. The rising star, Karl, I want to touch on this market. Will Ashcroft, goal of the year, surely. What a goal that was. He's firmed on the back of that performance. Kicked 2. I think he had 20-odd possessions. Another brilliant performance. Harry Sheasel, $2.40, a little bit of a drift. Will Ashcroft into $2.24. The big mover, Mitch Owens, $22 into $6.60 in the last couple of weeks.
Just to play the predictions game a little bit with the rising star market, do you think North Melbourne's woes at the moment, obviously another almost 100-point loss on the weekend, they're not playing well at all. Do you think that hurts Harry Sheasel's chances at rising star?
Great question. I don't think you should be deducted off how well you're playing because you're in a bad side. But his position, he plays a half-back role in a losing side. There's plenty of ball going back there. It's not hard for him to get the possessions. I value Ashcroft's performance in the midfield. Goal-kicking midfielder, he's an integral part of their midfield. I think in a winning side for him to come and do that as a first-season player is huge, and I think he is the rising star winner. So I've backed him already. I'll continue to back him, $2.24.
It's obviously almost a midfielder's award, because I'm not saying it's hard to play in those positions, but you got to give credit also to Mitch Owens, and he's firming as he should. He's up forward there. He's doing a fantastic job. So
we touched on the Crows. Michelini is doing a superb job. His opponents aren't touching the ball. He's a first-year player, but he doesn't get any recognition because he's not in the midfield.
Yeah.
And I know he got the nomination a couple of weeks ago, but Will Ashcroft for me, I think is clear favourite, or his favourite now. I think he's the bet.
100%, Tom. Well, we didn't touch on any of the market moves in the Brownlow, but things are certainly heating up, and there's so much to get through with the Brownlow predictor. Hit us up, Tom. What's caught your eye in terms of the Brownlow markets this week? Yeah,
Dacos drifted slightly. He's back into about that $3.40, so he actually hit $3.85, so a little bit of a drift back in. Clayton Oliver firmed $1.40. He looks set to get 2 votes. Christian Petracca, best on ground, kicked 3. I think it was 3. Dominant performance, back to his brilliant best. That means he firmed considerably. He firmed $12.50, or $12.50, funnily enough. 30 into $17.50. Bontempelli drifted. Quiet game for him in his 200s. 0.60 drift there. Clayton Oliver firmer, as I said. Petracca, Cameron drifted slightly. He had a good game, but the Tomahawk dominated early. Cripps firmed as well, 30s into 19s. So a couple of big moves there. Jordan Dawson, a bit of a drift. Probably doesn't poll either in that 1-point loss.
Clayton Oliver, $6, is now the only player to have predicted votes in every single game so far, and he's still $6 on the Betfair Exchange. Do you think that's value, Tom?
I do. They've got a couple of easy games to come as well. We keep talking about their run. The last couple of weeks we had 4 relatively easy games. I do. I think he's a major player in the Brownlow. I'm happy to take that price. One for me, and he's been a bit down with his average possessions. Lachie Neale averaged 26 possessions a game going into last week. He had 35, back to his brilliant best. He's the big watch for me. He firmed considerably. He was 46 and a 32. For a proven vote getter, the fact that he was $46 is crazy. Into 32, I could still play him as a midfielder, and I think he'll shorten again off that $32.
We've got Caleb Sarong into the $40, and he's part of my buy, hold, sell. I'm not going to tell you which one yet, but Caleb Sarong into $40. That's a call made by you a couple of weeks ago. That was pretty good.
He keeps getting possessions. I think he was the leading possession getter on the ground, if not the most. Definitely the top 2 or 3. Keeps getting possessions. Whether he gets noticed by the umps is the query. He's also in a side that isn't playing great football and getting beaten. So he's the concern. They need to start winning games for him to be a live hope, but he's playing superb footy.
That's right, and you've probably reminded me. I think Freo should have been my sell this week. They're going horribly at the moment.
There's a few teams going awful at the moment. Richmond?
Yep, Richmond, Sydney.
Richmond, Sydney,
They lost by 1 on the weekend, only in the last second because of some Toby Green brilliance. But yeah, Sydney aren't going too well as the sun shines on our backs. Someone's looking out for us upstairs, Tom.
How good.
Let's go to buy, hold and sell. And I'm going to kick us off here. Geelong, for the top 4 market, they've firmed considerably after losing the first 3 games this season. They're absolutely humming. I don't think Essendon ever looked a chance against them, and they're in really, really good form, Essendon, as we know. Adelaide, Richmond, Freo and GWS, they don't look like losing any of those games. I'm a massive Geelong guy right now, and I think they're going fantastically at this point of the season.
I don't mind that. My buy this week is Charlie Curnow for the Coleman. He's been a big firmer throughout the week. He's got this ability to kick bulk goals. We saw it on the weekend, 9 goals, 3. Equal with Jeremy Cameron now, 30 goals apiece. He's my buy. I think he'll win the Coleman. I'm happy to take the price at the moment, Karl.
Wow, that's a massive call. You think Charlie Curnow will win the Coleman?
Yep. I do.
Massive call. You must know something at Carlton Land. Harry and Charlie starting to work together, which is some good news. My hold this week.
Who plays on him for Brisbane this week? It's a big watch for me as well. I think he'll kick a few goals against Brisbane this week as well.
My hold this week is Caleb Sarong. I know you backed him a couple of weeks ago. Look, I think he's a fantastic player. He's one of my favourites at Freo, but his price is way too short for the Brownlow after 2 best on ground games, only predicted to get 6 votes. And I have these players in front of him: Charlie Curnow, Rory Laird, Patrick Dangerfield, Stephen Caniglio, and Toby Green. I have all those players in front of Caleb Sarong, and he's getting to quite a short price on the exchange, and all of those other players are further along. So, yes, I'm holding on Caleb Sarong. He's almost a sell for me, but he's a player I'm going to be watching.
Sounds like he's a big sell for you, mate. My hold still on Nick Dacus. Can I hold on him any longer? I don't want to back him for the Brownlow. I don't want to lay him for the Brownlow right now. If anything, I would lay him, but huge Nick Dacus watch. Ryan Clark's done this job, as I said off the top, on some good players. Christian Salem, one of those. I think he only kept him to 13 possessions when Melbourne played him at the G one Friday night last season. I wouldn't be surprised if Sydney send Ryan Clark to him. Big watch.
I'll tell you what, if Dacos drifts in that market, I'll certainly be having something on, but I just can't be doing it at the price right now. My sell this week arguably could have been Caleb Sarong, but I want to hold on him just because I like him so much. My sell is people that don't want a Tasmanian team in the AFL. Get in the bin.
Oh, right. We're doing lay bins for the sell segment.
Yeah, I'm selling that. Sorry, I couldn't come up with a good lay. So I'm going to be laying those people.
What are your thoughts on Kiss Cam at the footy, Karl?
As long as I'm going with my girlfriend there, or my wife now, actually. Whoops, I've got to get used to saying that one.
Congratulations. It's my chance to get some, so I'm all for it. But I don't really have a sell this week. I'm laying Adelaide, so that's my lay this week. If you want to get to the back lay for the week, I'm laying Adelaide top 8. Had their chance, they let that slip. They've got they've got a tough few games. They've got Geelong at the Cattery this week. My sell should be the lack of steel that's held up the GMHBA stadium. Has there ever been a match played in Geelong without a grandstand that's in renovations?
Yeah,
has it ever happened?
It does happen.
That's
they put a lot of work into that stadium, and it doesn't really look too different.
It'll look good soon, but just in another couple of years when they get some more steel, mate.
We hope so. If we had another 2 hours, we could talk about hopefully getting the MCG upgraded. Was one of the best stadiums in the world now, and I think it needs a little bit of work.
Ooh.
Tom, I want to talk about what's coming up this week. Is there any games that you're looking forward to?
Oh, not a great week, to be honest. Friday night, Carlton-Brisbane. That's probably the most even match of the round. Sydney need to bounce back against Collingwood. That'll be a fascinating watch. Not much for me, to be honest. GWS Bulldogs. GWS are a plucky side. They haven't been beaten by big margins. Bulldogs, I'm not sure. They could be my watch this week as well. Not sure where they're exactly at. They went over and beat Freo. I kind of half predicted that. My back for the week, Karl. I'm backing Charlie Dixon, 3+ and 4+ goals around that. I think I have a big game. So whatever Betfair markets go up, I think he'll have a big game. Goal kicker markets, whether he's in some multis, because we saw what Tom Hawkins did to Brandon Zerk-Thatcher on the weekend. I don't know if Bombers have got a match up for him. He's a beast. I think he'll dominate the match. So just look for some markets around him.
He looked like he had a few injury issues in that last game,
Dixon.
but when it got tight, he certainly got going.
He always looks like that. You just got to stir him up. He's a big angry man.
He's a big angry man. Yeah, I wouldn't be selling him.
What's your back this week, mate?
My back is look at the player disposal markets on the Betfair Exchange. I haven't got any specific ones for you this week, but the liquidity is absolutely fantastic and the lines are really, really good. And I've certainly found a couple of markets that I want to bet into there. Yeah,
I have done. I spoke to Joel Williams, who doing some content on the Betfair Hub for us. We spoke to him on SEN on Sunday. He actually pushed me into Tom Mitchell over 26.5. He made a really good point. Dacos getting tagged, no Pendlebury. He spent a lot of time in the midfield. There was a lot of liquidity on Betfair, so great shout. I had a piece of Tom Mitchell. I think he got 28, so over the 26.5. Fantastic result.
$2 plus on Jack Sinclair, and his disposal line was 26.5 touches, and he finished with 35 odd.
Well played, mate.
Another one was Patrick Dangerfield, 24.5 touches, and he finished with 28 or something, and that was around the $2
Sounds like
mark.
you had a fill-up.
Absolute fill up. I'm very happy with the exchange right now. The best prices on the market currently. Well, that's all we've got time for. We've got to head into the Bowls Club and grab a beer, Tom.
It's getting cold.
It's getting cold here at Warrnambool, but make sure you check out the Betfair Hub for all the Warrnambool tips this week and all the new trading action happening on the Betfair Hub.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1800 858 858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.